Hello, I'm Captain Jack and welcome to the Hangar Bay. On this channel, we take a deep dive into the best starships, technology, and more from your favourite sci-fi universes. Today, we're talking about what is perhaps the best class of Battlestar within the Colonial fleet. The Mercury-class Battlestar was represented by the Battlestar Pegasus in the Reimagined series of Battlestar Galactica. As such, we'll be focusing on that ship and the general class today. Remember, for the latest videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you think of this ship in the comments below. Designed as a capital warship and a carrier, the Mercury-class Battlestar was a top-of-the-line vessel by the time of the fall of the 12 Colonies. At 1,789.8 meters long, it dwarfed the older Jupiter-type Battlestars. The Mercury-class crew consisted of around 2,500 personnel. There was also space for both passengers and colonial marines. The layout of the Battlestar's hull was as expected of a colonial military design. The foresection, known as the alligator head, contained much of the living and crew areas. The Battlestar's CIC was also located here. The midsection contained flight decks, production facilities, and aircraft service areas. Finally, the stern section contained the engine pods, FTL drives, and engineering facilities to keep the Battlestar operational. 8 sublight engines propelled the Battlestar. These massive engines were located at the rear of the ship and attached to the outer hull. They were grouped together in clusters of 4 along the ventral and dorsal surfaces of the hull. Mercury classes also featured maneuvering thrusters placed at key points throughout the ship. For example, 2 main thrusters on the forward section of the hull. The Mercury class would sport a top-of-the-line faster-than-light drive, consistent with other advanced systems. As a new generation of Battlestar design, the computer systems of the Mercury class were top of the line. Battlestar came with advanced computer systems, including the Command Navigation Program, developed by Dr. Gaius Baltar. This was designed to assist in advanced navigation techniques. Unfortunately, this program turned out to be a virus and allowed the Cylons to gain command access over the Battlestar. Thankfully, at least one Mercury class escaped this fate. As a Battlestar, the Mercury class was heavily armed. It featured 34 automated anti-ship gun turrets, which were mounted 2 apiece. They were installed and distributed all over the ship. The greatest concentration of large turrets was found along the side of the Battlestar, within the valley created by the upper and lower halves of the hull. These were also mounted along the flight pods. The Battlestar's bow also featured 4 anti-ship guns mounted on the underside of the upper hull. This was then added to 4 non-turreted large guns below, which made up the ship's primary batteries. A total of 6 turrets were mounted on each underside of the hull structure, known as the alligator head. These turrets are also grouped in pairs for optimal firing effect. To protect the fighters and small craft, the Mercury class had 3 turrets on each side of a flight pod, and 2 more turrets mounted on the front and back of each flight pod. As such, there are 34 main gun batteries in total. In comparison to a Galactica-type Battlestar, the Mercury class had a higher rate of fire when operating in flak mode. To complement the anti-ship guns, the Battlestar was also fitted with numerous smaller point defense turrets, which could be found between hull plating. Missile tubes were also installed on the ship. Small craft-wise, a Mercury class would carry around 200 Mark 7 Viper fighters, comprised of 8 squadrons and 2 reserve squadrons. These were colour-coded in blue, red, green, yellow, orange, purple, black, white, and then gold and silver for the reserve squadrons. The Battlestar Pegasus demonstrated this. This type of Battlestar could also carry 50 Raptors on board as well. The Mercury class was also designed with production facilities on board to allow the ship to operate longer away from a resupply base. As such, the Battlestar could build new Viper Mark 7s from basic resources. Of course, this only works if the ship had the resources available in the first place. The Mercury class's flight pod design set it apart from its predecessor. This Battlestar sported double-stacked flight pods. As such, 4 flight pods were installed on the Mercury class ships. These pods were newer and more advanced. 2 dorsal and 2 ventral pods had advanced gravity systems installed to keep them in sync. As such, Vipers and Raptors could land both right side up and upside down in relation to the Battlestar. In terms of the design, the dual pod approach allowed for greater recovery of Vipers during combat. The Battlestar's hangar deck and launch tubes were located in between the right side up and upside down flight decks. The layout of its hangar deck and launch tube design was kept similar to that of a Jupiter-type Battlestar. While advanced, the launch tubes could still launch older colonial Vipers such as the Mark IIs. Unlike a Jupiter-class Battlestar, these flight pods did not retract and are kept stationary. This allows the Mercury class to jump out of a battle zone faster than their older counterparts. The Mercury class was introduced some years following the First Cylon War. The goal for the fleet was to replace the now aging Jupiter-class Battlestars, like the Battlestar Galactica. As such, the Mercury class was built with new technology, which also relied on more automation. It became one of the most largest and most formidable ships ever deployed by the colonial fleet. During the fall of the 12 Colonies, nearly all Mercury-class Battlestars were destroyed when they fell victim to the Command Navigation Program. The Cylons accessed the program and used it to shut down any Battlestar utilizing it. The backdoor allowed them to cause the ships to lose power effectively. As such, many Mercury-class Battlestars were destroyed without even firing a shot in the battles. Thankfully, the Battlestar Pegasus managed to survive the fall of the colonies. It was being upgraded at Scorpion Fleet shipyards during the Cylon invasion. The 3-month system overhaul took several computer systems offline, including the command navigation program. As such, the ship was still operational during the attack. Commanding officer, Rear Admiral Helena Kane, ordered the ship to jump to FTL. The Mercury-class Battlestar successfully made an emergency jump and escaped the destruction of the shipyards. Pegasus survived the initial assault and, under the ruthless leadership of Admiral Kane, would ransack civilian fleets of their supplies. Kane also viewed passenger lists of surviving civilian ships and conscripted civilians into military service to ensure her Battlestar would remain operational. With pushback from the families, Kane ordered her officers to shoot anyone who resisted. Going one step further, Kane stripped the civilian ships of food, supplies, and even their FTL drives and left them to the Cylons, or death in space. The Battlestar Pegasus continued a series of hit-and-run attacks against Cylon bases and ships for a while. Months after the fall of the 12 Colonies, Pegasus began tracking a large Cylon fleet moving from system to system, leaving behind natural resources. Pegasus calculated and jumped ahead of their next projected course to figure out what they were doing. In a surprise, the Mercury-class Battlestar Pegasus would meet the Jupiter-class Battlestar Galactica, which had survived the fall of the colonies with a small civilian fleet it was protecting. Intending to bolster supplies and forces again, Admiral Kane takes command of a fleet from William Adama. However, this does not go as smoothly as intended. At this point, Pegasus is often referred to as the Beast when compared to Galactica. The Battlestar Pegasus would go on missions with some of Galactica's personnel. One immediate mission was to locate and destroy a Cylon resurrection ship. After a bit of a falling out with Commander Adama of the Battlestar Galactica, Pegasus almost fires on a friendly ship. This ceasefire is called, and both ships work together to take out the Cylon resurrection ship. The mission is a success, dealing a crippling blow to Cylon forces. Unfortunately, Admiral Kane is murdered by an escaped Cylon prisoner. Commander Jack Fisk is installed as Pegasus' newest commander. Fisk is eventually killed due to a black market dealing. The next commander, Barry Gardner, is also killed in action. As such, newly promoted Admiral Adama promotes his son, Lee Adama, to the rank of commander, who takes command of Pegasus. The ship is seen as a bit of a bad luck charm at this point. The last Mercury-class Battlestar would come to an end above New Caprica. During a battle of New Caprica, Commander Lee Adama brings the Battlestar Pegasus and a skeleton crew to aid the Battlestar Galactica, who went by themselves to free the civilians of the planet. Lee has left most of Pegasus' air wing protecting the fleet of civilian ships, having been ordered initially to keep Pegasus back. However, Pegasus' arrival meant that Galactica survived the onslaught of Cylon firepower. As Galactica made her escape, Pegasus made her last stand. The Mercury class had already destroyed one of the Cylon base stars with its forward batteries. The Battlestar suffered severe damage due to no protection from its air wing. As such, the crew abandoned ship and set Pegasus on an automatic collision course with a Cylon base star. With the crew evacuated by Raptor and safely jumping away, the mortally damaged and now unmanned Battlestar Pegasus rams an attacking Cylon base star, successfully destroying both vessels. In one last act of defiance, the Mercury-class Pegasus flight pod, blown away from a hull explosion, collides with another Cylon base star, destroying it along with several Cylon raiders. As Pegasus was destroyed, her remaining fighters and Raptors, along with the crew, were eventually integrated into the Battlestar Galactica's forces. The last Mercury-class Battlestar successfully protected humanity that day. The shape of the Mercury class actually resembles the original Battlestar design, closer than the Reimagined series Galactica. You can see this with the comparison on screen. There are 8 engine pods compared to Galactica's 6. Also, the pods on the Mercury class appear more integrated with the rear section. The flight pods also share the original angular shaped design. Jose A. Perez, who was the visual effects artist of the reimagined Battlestar Pegasus, previously commented that the new Pegasus design was a cross between the look of the original Battlestar but with the elements of the new one. For example, Pegasus has more hull plating than Galactica, which has less and shows more ribbing. Perez also noted that the harder edges on Pegasus intentionally match the interior style more. The Battlestar Pegasus actually had brand new sets for her appearance in the Battlestar Galactica Reimagined series. There is a fun story behind this. David Icke, who was an executive producer on the show, revealed that the production team circumvented the limited production budget of an episodic television series. A year beforehand, Icke and showrunner Ronald D. Moore had purchased the abandoned set of the failed pilot of Fox's Lost in Space remake. It turns out the production team held onto these sets, hoping to find a use for them. With the introduction of Pegasus, the production team radically redesigned the abandoned sets and painted them to give them the aesthetic look of Galactica, but sleeker and more advanced. So that's the complete breakdown of a Mercury-class Battlestar. Pegasus was a fantastic addition to the reimagined Battlestar Galactica series, and I'll never forget that fantastic battle of New Caprica. Don't forget to check out our other videos on the ships from the science fiction universes. That's the end of this video. I've been Captain Jack in the Hangar Bay. Remember, if you're talking about science fiction, we want to hear about it.